Hello, my beloved friends. It's Catherine here. It's been a couple weeks since I made a video. Today, I wanted to have a little conversation about manifesting the life of our dreams. I feel like this is something I have tapped into personally. I'm at a point in my life for the first time, truly for the first time, where I feel like I am living in alignment with my higher self. I'm doing things my way, and it's going really well. This came after a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work. It wasn't always this way for me. I haven't always felt happy with my place in life. And right now I do. So I wanted to share some of the tools that I have used to get where I am right now. And I wanted to invite you to share your ideas with me on how to continue down this path on manifesting the life of my dreams and the life of your dreams. Because this is a co-creation, this world we live in. And I feel like if we were all living in alignment with who we truly are, and with our goals and our desires, that the world would be a much more beautiful place, right? So for me, this started with setting boundaries. The first thing that I did to begin the process of getting my life in alignment was to learn how to say no. I've talked about this before. It's been really hard for me. It is something I had to learn through trial and error. And through practice. I had to keep relearning how to say no and how to set boundaries. And sometimes I would have to learn how to take a previous yes and make it a no. Because sometimes we commit to things, we say yes to things. Maybe we really feel in alignment with them when we say yes and something changes. Or maybe we feel out of alignment with it and we say yes because it feels obligatory or duty bound or whatever. So learning to say no, it's a really hard thing to do in our culture where we are expected to be everywhere and do everything just superhero style, day in, day out, especially if you're a parent, small business owner. It's exhausting. So learning to set boundaries and say no. For me, this meant in personal relationships, this meant business relationships, this meant the way I was living my life, the type of home I was living in. Right now, I'm in my converted school bus, the Bitcoin bus. That was a big fat no to society's way of doing things. When we were living in an apartment in San Marcos, it was great. I loved the location. I loved the community, but it was so expensive and I felt like we were slaving away to earn money, to pay rent. And it was really hard as an entrepreneur to come up with that amount of money every single month. So saying no to that, to the way that most people do things, allowed my family to survive through the startup phase of entrepreneurship. Because entrepreneurship is something we were saying yes to. We were saying no to the way society does things. And, I used to do things the way society told me to. I went to college. I got my master's degree. I was working for a Fortune 500 company. I had a 401k, I was doing things the normal American way. United States, North American way. I now understand that America is a multi-continent place, and when I say America, I need to be more specific, right? Okay, that's something I sort of dawned on me while I was traveling to South America. Like, oh, I'm in America right now. I can't say I'm from America to people in South America and expect them to understand that I'm from the United States of America. Okay, side tangent. So the first thing was saying no. And that meant no to toxic relationships, toxic work environments, toxic anything, saying no. At first, it meant quitting my job at United Parcel Service, a very toxic place. For anyone who's ever worked there, you know, you know. And if you have a UPS delivery driver show up at your house, thank them, bless them, because they're getting yelled at all dang day. So saying no to that was a big deal for me because that was a major source of income for me, and I had my identity built up in it. I actually thought my favorite color was brown for a while. Not kidding. That's how like into the corporate culture I was. So saying no to that. Then I transitioned to working for nonprofits. Anyway, it was a series of saying no. Led me to entrepreneurship, which is something I said yes to. So the first thing is saying no. The second thing is saying yes to what fuels you up and what you want to do. So no to paying rent, yes to a tiny home. No to corporate America, yes to entrepreneurship. You know, so these two things are really, really important. Strong boundaries. If something is out of alignment, no one is going to fix it except for you. And what I found as I started, especially the past 6 months, to really set strong boundaries in my relationships, it gave the people in my life the opportunity to either step up and meet me where I am right now and honor those boundaries, or to get out of the way. So some people are gone out of my life and some people stepped up, and they're treating me differently because I'm treating myself differently. And following my yes, that is hard, especially when you're a mother, a small business owner. It's one thing to say no to toxic stuff, but when you feel like you're stretched so thin, which is something I'm also saying no to, being stretched thin, it's hard to say yes. So not only did I have to teach myself how to say no to the things that were hurting me, but I had to learn how to say yes to the things that would fill me up. So for me, saying yes has been a really important practice in my life. And I first learned about this saying yes thing from this blog called Travel by Yes. And I wrote an article on Bitcoin Magazine about following your yes and how cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin were part of my yes. And that's why I've spent the last 4 years obsessed with them. That's why I live in the Bitcoin bus. That's why John and I traveled the country teaching people about cryptocurrencies, helping people set up wallets, giving away Bitcoin, giving away Dash, just throwing out seeds like Johnny Appleseed. But it was cryptocurrencies. And you do have to set up a wallet that has a seed. That's kind of funny. Never thought of it that way. Okay. Anyway, saying no, saying yes. These are two really important ways to create the life of your dreams. No to the bad, yes to the awesome. Set those boundaries, fill yourself up. And the third thing that I've been working on is putting myself first. It's one thing to say, yes, I want to do yoga, but leaving yourself down on the totem pole, putting your kids before yourself, putting your business before yourself, putting the movement, whatever, before yourself. I found my old journals from 2009. I had made a vow of poverty because I wanted to live a life of service, and I gave myself away. Everything, my 401k, my time, my energy, my health. I gave it all away. I put everybody first. And I was not happy. And so now that I've been working on my no's and my yeses and getting those in alignment with me, not paying attention to what society wants. Society says, send your kids to public school. I'm choosing to unschool. You know, society says, you know, eat Cheerios and dairy and all this stuff, processed food. I'm choosing to garden. I'm choosing farmers markets. I'm choosing organic food. I'm choosing raw, right? Saying yes to things that fuel me up. But putting myself first was really hard. I said yes to entrepreneurship, and I was a slave to it, truly. So the past 6 months, I've really been working on putting myself first. And what does that mean? Setting strong boundaries again around the things that are important to me. This means yoga. This means meditation. This means not going to every event and saying no sometimes. You know? Like, for me, I felt so engrossed in the community that I had to be everywhere all the time. And putting myself first on the days when I didn't want to go do anything that was hard for me to learn how to do. So putting myself first, which I guess encompasses the yes and the no, that's not even a third thing. It's the embodiment of saying no to what doesn't work and yes to what does, and setting those healthy boundaries around the things that are important to you. So for me, creating a daily practice where I can get up, this is my routine. I sweep my floor, I pull out my yoga mat, I turn on my essential oil diffuser, which if you're interested in essential oils, I do sell doTERRA essential oils, hit me up. I turn on my diffuser, I clear my aura, I turn on my music, I start boiling my water for my tea, I do my breathing exercises that I learned in Peru, I pour my water into my tea, and I start my yoga practice. And I'm doing this every single day, no matter what. If it's cold outside, which then it means it's cold in my house a little bit, you know, I'm in a converted school bus, I have an awesome buddy heater, but it doesn't matter. If it's cold outside, I'm doing yoga. If my kids are awake, I'm doing yoga. My kids are watching me put myself first. And I hope in the end that teaches them to put themselves first. And I don't think that's a selfish thing. After putting myself last for so many years, and ending up depleted and exhausted and unable to help anybody or to meet any obligations that I was creating because I said yes to too many things and I didn't know where to say no or where to draw my boundaries, I now believe that putting myself first is the biggest gift that I can give to the world, because that means that I'm healthy, and it means that I'm strong, and it means that I'm happy. And when I am healthy, strong, and happy, I can help people in a way that I absolutely could not when I was depleted. So for me, that's what I've been doing to create the life of my dreams. What have you been doing? Can you tell me in the comments? What are some things that I can add into my daily practice or into my life routine? What are your recommendations? How can we work together? Can I support you in some way? I really believe that if every person on the planet were living a life that is in alignment with their personal values and their dreams and their goals, that we would have a really special, magical thing happening on this planet. And it starts with me, and it starts with you. I think we can co-create a really magical world by each of us putting ourselves first and taking care of ourselves from the inside out. Thank you for watching this video. I'm very grateful for your time.